And welcome back to the channel again. Today I'll be testing these ignition coil packs to see if they have a spark or they are damaged without being connected to the vehicle, without being used by a PCM, using very simple tools, not sophisticated tools at all, and a 12-volt battery here. So let's get started. Alright, a little bit closer with the camera here. These ignition coil packs will be tested in another video because that one is another manufacturer. In this case, these are from Toyota, and I have connected some wires here just to save some time. Let's see, these are 3 batteries here, type C, 3 of them, to make 4.5 or 5 volts. If you're gonna do this test like me, you need to know the manufacturer aspects for the ignition coil packs in this case, and the spark tester here, of course. So we're gonna start to test them right now. The order of the pins: 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 is power. In this case, this is from a Toyota vehicle. Toyota uses basically the same, almost the same specs for their ignition coil packs. Number 1 is power, and number 4 here all the way to the left is ground in this case. Number 2 is the ignition feedback or ignition confirmation signal. And the number 3 here is the ignition timing. Some of them will be connected to the 12-volt battery, and some of them will be connected to the small battery that I made. Remember, I'm going to be showing you that in a second. So let's make the setup right now. Alright, maybe this image helps a little bit better. Here is the ignition coil pack, and this is the front view of the ignition coil pack. First of all, let's check the order of the pins here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start with this one here. Pin number 1 is plus, as you can see. If you follow the red line, it goes to plus on the 12-volt battery. This is the 12-volt battery, as you can see, and I'm saying this because we have 2 batteries. This one is the other one here. This is 5-volt battery. We have to use 2 batteries in order to do this test. Now on the other side here, this is pin number 4, as you can see here, and this is ground. This is minus, as you can see. So if you follow the yellow line, you can see it goes to the negative on the 12-volt battery. Now we already know about these 2 pins here, so now let's go with the 2 signals that are used by the PCM. As you can see, this is the PCM here. Now pin number 2 here, this is the IGF ignition feedback or ignition confirmation signal. And then the ignition timing. This is the ignition timing pulse. This is a pulse to every ignition coil. So the PCM uses this signal here to control the ignition timing. So when the PCM sends the ignition timing here, or when it tries to fire the ignition coil, then the ignition coil sends this signal back to the PCM, and then is when the PCM knows that everything is fine with all the ignition coils are being firing. The IGF signal is shared by all of the ignition coils. It's called ignition feedback or ignition confirmation signal because, as I said, this is the signal that goes back to the PCM, and then the PCM can control the ignition timing here. Alright, now that's it with this one here going to the PCM. Let's go with these 2 here with the 5-volt battery. Remember, I said I used 3 batteries, 1.5 volts battery. I used 3 of them to make 1 battery, so that makes approximately 4.5 volts. Between 4.5 volts and 5 volts, that is fine. Alright, let's go back to pin number 2 here. Now you're gonna connect this one to the negative on the 5-volt battery. And the last wire you're gonna be connecting here is this one here, number 3, which is the ignition timing, because you're gonna pretend this is the PCM sending the ignition timing to the ignition coil. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pulse from here. You'll see me pulsing this over here on the positive on the 5-volt battery, and then that is pulsing directly to this wire here, to this pin here, pin number 3, which is the ignition timer. So this is basically how it works. So let's do it and see if this ignition coil pack sparks or fires, or if it doesn't fire. Alright, I got the camera a little bit closer here, and as you can see, I put a tape here. I put a piece of tape to hold this one. This is the wire number 2, remember? This is the ignition feedback. You can call ignition feedback or ignition confirmation signal. And number 3, as I said, is the ignition timing, and this is this one here. So this one is going to be here. At this point, I have the positive cable wire disconnected from the 12-volt battery, so nothing happens. I'm using gloves already because once you do the final connections, to where every wire goes, you have to use gloves. Please do not do this without gloves, because what I'm gonna be doing here is I will have the same power, the same strength, like when the engine is running and the PCM is using the ignition coil packs. So just be careful with that. It's exactly the same, because if this ignition coil pack is good, we will have a spark here. If it's not good, then we will have nothing here. So I have the camera very close here because I want the camera to see very well in case if we have spark. So now I'm gonna connect the positive to the battery here right now. Again, do not do this without gloves at all. Make sure you don't make your fingers do not make any contact with the metal here at the time of making contact here with the positive of the battery. Remember, this is the positive of the small battery, the 5-volt battery. So hopefully this thing works, and we're gonna see that right now. Alright, so the ignition coil pack is in excellent condition. I hope the camera picked that up, but alright, right there, as you can see, it has spark. This is the way to test the ignition coil packs manually. You don't need sophisticated tools, as I said. It's very easy. Just take precautions. Do not do this without gloves at all. And don't make any contact. Now, very important, do not do this. Let's say if this battery moves, and then do not put your fingers here just to hold it and then do this, because you're gonna get shocked. So be careful with that. As I said, this has the same power, same strength. It's exactly the same as this ignition coil pack will be used when the engine is running, like when the PCM is using this ignition coil pack. So that's how it works, and that's how you test the ignition coil packs manually. And in another occasion, I'm gonna test injectors and also other ignition coil packs like this ones here. These are from different manufacturers. But again, we have to have the wire diagram, and also we have to know the specs, the perimeters from the manufacturer. Otherwise, we cannot do this. That's how it works. And this is how you test the ignition coil packs to see if they are working or they are not. Just take some precautions. Use gloves at the time of making the connection here to the 12-volt battery and to the small one here too. This one can really hurt you. That's why it's very important to put some tape or hold this alligator here in any way you can, so you don't have to be dealing with both hands. Because when you're dealing with both hands and everything is connected by an accident, this can shock you because you can make positive, negative here and positive here with your hands. So be careful with that. That's why I said you only using one hand at the time of making contact here to see if the ignition coil pack has spark. Do not be holding it like this and then doing this. That's too dangerous. Don't do that. As you already saw, it's very simple to test the ignition coil packs. You don't need sophisticated tools. A couple of wires, spark tester, 12-volt batteries, small batteries. Very simple. Now, as I said, these are from Toyota, so every manufacturer has different specs for their products. But in fact, it's very simple. And if you think this video was helpful in any way, please consider to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and God bless you all.